So we're here in the Llanvi Valley Boxing Club. Just tell me your name, age and where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm Ashley John Williams, I'm 33 and I'm from Betos in Bridgend.
Okay Ash, I know a bit about you, but can you just tell some of the viewers who perhaps don't know anything about you, about your boxing background, what you've done in the sport so far and what the plans are for the future?
Yeah, so I've been boxing now for just over 20 odd years. I joined the army and within 2 years being on the army boxing team, I was on Team GB. Won my first Welsh title with them, went on to win 5 Welsh titles. Then went on to Team GB, won international competitions all over the world. And then one of the big ones for myself was I went to the Commonwealth Games in 2014 and won a bronze medal for Wales, for my country. Yeah.
So what was it like boxing in the Commonwealth Games?
Amazing. So I was team captain, which is something I'm very proud of. Got to captain like Joe Cordina, Sean McGoldrick, Andrew Selby. Got to be part of some proper athletes and some well-known boxers as well. And it was just an honour to be part of that team and to bring home a medal for Wales as well was an even bigger honour. But obviously it didn't come without hard work, and just as they did, I had to put just as much work in, if not more, because I weren't as talented as them, but if anything I had more work ethic, which I believe won me my medal.
So where do you keep your medal?
Medals it's still in its box. It's a handmade medal, one of the first Commonwealth's handmade medals. And it's in my box. I take it out now and again because I like to go out to schools, colleges, universities, and I like to show people what hard work can bring. Obviously, that's my reward, and I'm very proud of it.
So you mentioned you were in the army. What regiment or corps were you in?
So I'm still in the army, so I'm still serving. I'm in the Royal Welsh. I was 2nd Battalion, but we've now combined to the 1st Battalion of the Royal Welsh, based in Tidworth.
So am I right in saying to call you a tracksuit soldier?
You can say that. At the minute, I'm not. I am doing. I'm a brigadier's driver at the minute, which obviously I'm in kit, but I'm not doing green stuff at the minute. I'm driving the brigadier about.
And something has changed from my time in the army. You had to be clean shaven when I was in the army, but I believe that's changed now.
Yeah, so it changed, I believe, maybe last year. I think it was when beards are allowed in now. We follow suit with the Navy. It's just we're just moving with time. Obviously, we need to keep retention. We need to bring new soldiers in, and the nowadays popularity. Obviously, don't like getting told what to do we? So yeah, we're allowed to have a beard now. So yeah. I believe you're not involved in amateur boxing at the moment as a competitor, am I right in saying? No, I'm not involved in amateur boxing. So I turned pro 2021, just after COVID. Things didn't work out for me with the pro game. I took a 2 or 3 year gap from the sport. Went into coaching, which is something I really enjoyed. And if anything, it brought me more on as a boxer as well. Went into coaching, went into the refereeing with Welsh and the army. And it brought me more into the sport, because seeing the young talent coming through, you was just like, wow. I mean, once upon a time that was me. I wanted. I mean, and that hopefully, while I was refereeing, I mean, it was just seeing the talent coming through. It was just like, I want to do that. I want a piece of that again. And I rang Adrian up, and here I am now. I'm obviously doing bare knuckle boxing now with BKB.
So how did you make the transition from amateur boxer or pro boxer to bare knuckle fighter?
It wasn't much of a transition really. We still train with the gloves. Everything's still the same, more or less. We spar with the gloves, spar with head guards. We don't want cuts. We don't want to injure ourselves in training, because the main effort is to put everything into the fight. So we don't want to be injuring our hands, injuring our faces, getting cuts and stuff in training. So it's important that obviously we do wear gloves. But obviously we do now and again. We'll go down. We won't go bare knuckle. You'll see we wear like thinner gloves. It's called what we call mitts, and we'll hit the bags with them just to get the knuckles more adapted to the impact that they're going to get.
So why did you decide to go down the bare knuckle route rather than go back to amateur boxing?
Amateur boxing, I believe I reached the pinnacle of what I was ever going to reach. I'm 33 now. I'm not getting any younger. The young whippersnappers for 3 rounds are going to outwork me and outmaneuver me for 3 rounds. If amateur boxing was, say, 5, 6, 8 3-minute rounds, maybe I might have gone back. But obviously I went to the pro game. I wanted to try that. But the pro game, I found it was hard for me to get any fights. I had 1 fight and I didn't have a fight for a year. And it just so happened that my manager was like, look, I'm struggling to get you fights. You either need to come up weights and fight bigger people, or we call it a day and you go and find your route. And I just decided to, me and Lee then called it a day. I messaged Adrian up. I just said, look, I'm interested in getting back into fighting. I really want to get back in the gym, get myself fit again. So obviously I was having a bit of timber on the belly, as you do when you begin to enjoy life again, and you're not training as much as you would be. I was still fit. I'm in the military. I train 3-4 times a week. Hard, intense training. So I was still fit. But I just needed something to give me that bit of motivation to get the weight off and get back in the ring. And Adrian said to me, "Well, let me ring BKB, and I'll see what I can do." And I was like, "Okay, what's that?" He was like, "Oh, bare knuckle boxing." I was like, "Whoa!" And obviously, like the likes of I've been watching and admiring the likes of Dan Chapman, Barry Jones. All these type of fighters where you've been watching them and you've been like, "Wow, these people are warriors." And I was like, well, hang on, I could do something like that. And it's coming at a time where I wanted to buy a house. I'm a lance corporal in the army, so I needed to do in a little bit more money. And I just thought, let's give it a go.
What does the Brigadier think of his driver being a bare knuckle boxer?
Well, he hasn't come in yet, so we'll find out soon. So Brigadier Davis, he's Royal Welsh, so he's my regiment. I started in December last year. Sorry. So I've been driving for Colonel Walker at the minute, and he was like a bit iffy of it at the time, but lucky enough, Major Neves, the CEO of 160, the cause, he allowed me to. He gave me the permission. He's a para. They love fighting. You know what I mean? You look at Jack Marshman. You look at the athletes that have come from paras. And the boxing caliber they got. They enjoy fighting. It's part of their bread and butter. It's part of their training mentality. So he was like, yeah, go on, you give that a go. And fair play to me, the whole of 160, the brigade have been really, really supportive with it. They've all been asking me how it's going, watching my fights, coming up to me going, well, bloody 36 seconds, how do you manage that? You know what I mean? They look at me and I'm only small, but I proved that, I do pack a punch with my size as well, do you know what I mean?
So what's your record in bare knuckle to date?
So I'm 2-0, 2 knockouts. I haven't even done a full round yet. So that's something I obviously I am aware of. But if I know that I'm fit enough to do 5 threes, you ask Adrian. There's not many people in the world that train as hard as I do. I give everything.
I know as well in bare knuckle, as you already mentioned in the pros, there's not a lot of guys in the smaller weight division. So is matching you going to be an issue in bare knuckle as well, do you think?
So they have just brought in 2 new fighters. Me and Joe Randall were the first featherweights in the UK to fight at obviously the 57 kilo mark within bare knuckle. So me and Joe Randall was the first fight. It was a fire of a fight. I got dropped twice within 1 round, and then I dropped him and knocked. It was a knockout. And obviously I've just had another fight now, and I knocked him out within 36 seconds. Obviously they've just signed 2 new fighters, and yes, a majority of my fighters within my weight are over in the US. Something I am looking to do. I've expressed obviously last week in my fight that I'd really like to go to the US and test myself again, because it was BYB over there, backyard boxing. They've been doing it for a while over there. They've had, say, I think Harold McQueen has had, I think he's had 6 fights. I think he's won 4, lost 2, something like that. And then you've got Brandon Burr, you've got Ramirez, so Ramirez number 1 and Brandon Byrne, who's ranked number 2. They're both fighting each other now on the 31st of May, something I've got my eyes on. I'd love to fight one of them, or I'd love to fight Harold McQueen and bring him over here. I'd love to go over there to US and I mean, let's put the title online and let's go for it.
Do you ever get worried about getting seriously injured in bare knuckle boxing?
Yeah, obviously it is something that can happen. I try not to think of that. I'm not in there to inflict major damage on my opponent. Obviously it's what can happen. But obviously it's in the back of my mind when I come out. Hoping my opponent's okay, hoping I'm okay. Adrian knows before I go in, I say a prayer for me and my opponent, making sure we come out safe. But obviously it's a dangerous sport. But it's part of the business. It's what can happen.
Clearly, you love boxing, you love fighting. It seems to be in your blood. It's a real passion for you. Do you think you know when it's the right time to quit, or will you have to just lose a few fights before you get to that stage?
No, I know within my body when my time to quit is. I've had over 100 fights amateur-wise. I've had 1 pro fight. I mean, I haven't had. I've had some really hard amateur fights, but I haven't gone over the 10 round, 12 round distance and massively damaged my body. I'm still fit as a fiddle. I'm unmarked. I think I got another 2-3 years left in me, and then I think I'll be ready to knock it on the head then. And I'd love one day to have maybe when I come out of the army to run my own gym or something like that. That's the dream. But obviously I'm looking to do my 24-year service. So I'm on my 17-year point at the minute. So I still got a bit of time to go. So obviously I've got a job to do with the military first.
Okay, have you got any shout outs or people like to thank or sponsors or anything like that?
Yeah, so I got all my sponsors here, you can see them on here. So I got Vortex, I got JP Elite Plumbing, you got Stone Engine, Scuffs to Spray, that's one of my mates, Chris Hale. I'd love to thank this gym, obviously they allow me to train here. I've got on the back here, so I've got Restite, so I got Restite. Then I got JPW. I got Sam's Wraps, which is she's just on the back there. So I've got quite a lot of sponsors and people who back me, and it's really appreciated.